Yeah, so here's the story on the 1968 Fender Stratocaster. Well, my family had a band years and years ago called the Doobie Show Band, and it was formed in 1967. And I played with it for 10 years, but much later. Of course, I was just a little kid. And my dad bought this guitar in 1968, and he played it for a long time. And he finally, he wore it out, actually. And I believe somebody tried to refret the thing, and they didn't do a very good job on it. So what happened was he became pretty disillusioned with it. So he bought another Fender Stratocaster, I think it was, and went on from there and played that for years. Well, after a while, he handed this guitar down to me. I think I was probably around 14 or 15 years old. And so it had some buckle rash on the back of it, and it had some chips and dings, and the fretboard was in really bad shape, and had some pretty big craters in it. And so I decided that, well, it wasn't really a very beautiful guitar, so I did the unthinkable, right? Yeah, I stripped it and sanded it down to the bare wood. And when I was had the neck off of it and stripped the body, and I was going to paint it this color that I'd painted a previous car with, and it was Brandywine. You know, it had this Brandywine kick for a while. And so I had it on the paint rack. It was all ready to go, and here I am giving the first coats to it. And my dad comes pulling up in his pickup truck, you know, and he gets out of his truck and he kind of squints at me a little bit, and he walks over to me and he goes, "Son, is that my Fender Stratocaster hanging on that paint rack?" And I said, "Well, Dad, it's my Fender Stratocaster because you gave it to me." Well, he kind of looked really, you know, he really looked kind of disgusted at me. And he said, "You know, son, you're right. But I'll tell you one thing. Not right now, not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you're going to realize how bad you just messed up." And he didn't use the word messed up, okay? Just for clarity, all right? But anyhow, after I failed at the paint job because it didn't put enough hardener in it, and it was really kind of sticky, and I was really kind of disillusioned. And then I find out that I destroyed the value of the guitar. It wasn't an original example anymore. So it was something that was worth a lot of money became a pile of junk. So I never did put it back together again. And what I did was I hauled around just the neck and the body for, gosh, almost going on 40 years, I guess. And everywhere I moved, every little place that I had this old neck and this body with me. Well, one day I said, I'm going to finish that guitar. One day I'll get it refinished. One day I'll get it playable again. And you know the disc, you just keep putting it off, and never get it done. Well, up until just a couple of years ago, decided that, you know, I was going to do just that. And a couple of friends helped me out with this project. Joey Edwards painted this fine paint job on it, and it's really, really nice. Joey paints a lot of trucks and automobiles and stuff, and he rebuilds guitars, and he also builds guitars from scratch, and so he did a really good job on it. The neck, I sent it off to a very good friend of mine, Bill Archer. And so Bill refretted the neck. He reconditioned the fretboard on it. It was in really bad shape. It was really dry, so he did a really good job on that. So I had the neck and the body, and had to put it back together again, so we did just that. So for my dad's birthday, I decided I'd give it back to him for his birthday, and I have a very short clip of it. My mom isn't the best photographer or videographer in the world, so but he was really pleased with it. He was in awe. He couldn't believe that this was the same guitar, and I couldn't either. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So after a while of playing it, realized that it didn't play really well, and it was kind of a rough setup on it. And so he gave it back to me to bring it to Glasser up here in Nashville. And they did a little neck straightening on it, a little heat treatment on it, hammered down a couple of frets and redressed them, and set it up. And I mean, I tell you right now, it plays like $1 million. Beautiful sounding guitar. There you go. So now you know the whole tale of how she came about. I'm really proud that I could do this for my dad, and I hope he really enjoys it. Y'all have a good one.